Hello, welcome. My name is Kwabena. I trust you had a good day. Subscribe to this channel and share the channel with your friends. Today I want to share with you the solutions in Africa that we are looking for. Are they in prayer or they are in productivity? Are they in prayer or they are in productivity? Two major religions are in Africa: Christianity, major one, and Islam. And for the part of Africa that I come from, the West, Nigeria, Ghana, major Christian activities everywhere. And we've been grown, we have been told that prayer answers everything as Christians. You see, those of us who also are brothers and sisters who are also Islamic, is the same thing. They pray every day, and there is a lot of activities, special months for prayers and fasting. And I was thinking of it the other time, so I just engaged a little discussion with a friend of mine, and he was talking about prayer and answers. I said, yes, that's what they told us, but I think that many of the things that we spend our time to pray for are things that can easily be solved with productivity. And that one of the things that we don't understand as Africans is prayer, and what it is and what it can be used for and what it cannot be used for. Just as we still misunderstood the essence of God and religion and how it plays out. And so, most of our people spend hours, thousands, millions of hours in churches, in mosque, praying all the time for the things that the good decisions and planning and good education can easily solve. Majority of the people who are in churches praying, they're praying for good job, good business, prosperity, husband, wife, visa, those things that they pray for mostly. Or some of them are even praying to kill their enemies. Some people are praying for political power, success in business. I think that if those things really worked, we will not be having the results that we seem to have, especially in our political settings and things like that. So, or even in our environment. So I concluded that our development, our progress is not in prayer, and that if there is prayer and if there is any need for prayer at all, it's just for religious beliefs, and they really don't have much impact on our development. Because if they did, I mean, look at the number of hours that we have really spent praying for the last 50 years or 70 years or so. If I look at the results, it just tells me, the results, they tell me that there is more to that which we've been sold to. So I think that it's more in productivity. I think that our progress, our development, the jobs that we want to create, the industries that we want to build, the environment that we want to organize, good families that we want to build, the success of businesses that we want to build, whether we want to have good, long, quality life, all these things, I think that they're mainly those who are planning, who are intentional, who are developing the minds of their people, who are committed to bring progress to their people, will do far more better than those who have been told that everything else is in the hands of God, and by prayer, there will be solutions. Those who told us to pray, when we finish praying in church, the collected offering, so it means that there are so many things that prayer will not solve. So if you look, let's say in Ghana, maybe 30 million of us, they say that 70% of us go to church. So 30, 3 by 2, 3 by 7 is around 21 million of us go to church. So on the average, let's say every week we spend 1 hour, one person spends 1 hour in church, which I know is more than that. The average Christian spends more than 1 hour in church, just conservatively, which means that in a week, 1 hour times 21 million is 21 million hours spent in praying for things that we are supposed to work to get. We are supposed to be productive to get. We are praying to God for those. Now, if there is another group which is using the same hours working, productive man hours working, those people will get far more results than those who are praying. There's no point praying when you can't organize your environment. There's no point praying to God. God could not come and clean your environment for you, clean your gutters, organize your society, make sure that your institutions work, make sure that your businesses are run well, make sure that your politicians make good decisions. Those things God will not come and make them. And so when there is proper intentional, strategy or plans to develop, I think that's where the productivity, that's where our future, our development, the things that we so yearn for, would rest. It's not a prayer. It's not the, a lot of young men, Monday morning, they are praying at some forest or in some church. And the people who lead these organizations have been able to tell all of us that, some things are spiritual, some things are beyond human comprehension. Some things, the carnal people, they try to use their mind to explain everything. Listen, if it comes to development of a country, how to organize your finances, how to even build your family, your marriage, how to build your business, how to live healthy, healthy living. A lot of the earthly things, as we call them, physical things, material things that we see, many of them will not be solved, by prayer. Obviously, not prayer as we Africans understand. We Africans understand that everything, look up to God and pray to God, and there will be solution. And we have done that for years. And God has not come to solve them, because that is, some people will even go ahead to say that, if he had not prayed, it will be worse. It's not true. As a matter of fact, the hours that we are spending praying for things that we don't need to pray for have been the reason why we still have a long way to go as to the things that we have to solve. So countries develop, businesses are built because people are intentional and they work, they plan and they execute. And they don't waste their time. They don't waste a lot of hours killing demons in churches. So is it prayer or productivity? I say that if your business is not doing well, it's not prayer. If the family is not doing well, it's not prayer. If your finances are not doing well, it's not prayer. These things they've taught us, but if you look at our results now, those we have packed praying. Where are their finances? Where are the work ethics? The things that they've been able to build, the products that they've been able to introduce to the market, the innovations that have come out, the businesses that they have built. As a matter of fact, those people who are leading these areas are not in churches praying. They are rather using their time, building these things. Where the problem is, they use their time to solve the problems. Wherever you have problem, you use your time, get the right knowledge in that area, and you solve the problems in that area. It's not a prayer. It's not a prayer. There has been so much. It's been pushed down on us, so that the only solution is prayer. When you are going for elections, we have to go and pray. There's national fasting day. There's this for peaceful election. Organize the society. Give the people education. Teach them. Civilize them. Train them. Sensitize them. That is what, because I will not go, nobody can give me money to go and fight at the polling station. Why? Because I've been given some kind of education. I've been given some kind of exposure, I think. And so and I could have been anybody. I could have also been on the street fighting for a politician if I was not equipped. So really, it's not a prayer. It is training your people, building them up, civilizing them, pushing them to value lives. Especially not valuing political party allegiance over human life. These are things that you have to constantly do. The youth, you give them information. It's not tell them that, and you will see it all over on TV. Peace Council, this, and everybody aglow, they're calling for prayer, for election prayer, but they don't call for prayer for civilization, for good work ethics, for against the poverty. They don't call for prayer for our people to work well and be intentional and to promote our people to become successful. I don't see them call for prayer for that, but they call for prayer for peaceful election. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about, is it prayer or productivity? And I'm saying that prayer is a religious tool, and if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you practice any other faith, there's a way that you pray. That's fine. It's for your religious practice. But for us to believe that the prayer will develop a country, that's a lie. For us to believe that prayer will build a business, will build your family, will give you good health, That is not how it is extended in any of the religious practice. Even if you're a Christian and you read the Bible very well, you will see that prayer is not used to build any country or business or finances. It is work, because God created the world such that put in the hours. Then wherever that you spend in your hours, that's where you're going to get results. So if you're spending your hours praying, then you know that you're not getting any results because the waste is on the ground, the unemployment is there, the people need housing, people need to build their own, houses, or have their own farms. The very things that we want, build their own factories, build their own retail shops, all the activities that we need, economic activities. We put the hours in relevant economic activities. That is what will bring the progress, the prosperity. But you are saying that thousands across Africa, young men and women packed in churches, praying to God for solution, praying to God for progress, for development. I dare say that those things have not worked, because that is not the way. That is not the reason for prayer. No matter what the preachers are telling you, if you're not happy, for instance, with your life, if you don't like where your life is going, but then out of the 24 hours, you use half of it praying every morning, from morning to evening. You are in your room praying, you praying in tongues, praying everywhere for a year, and then you are expecting supernaturally for your life to progress. I'm not going to say anything. Just look at where you are with your life based on you practicing that. And then maybe next year, you can also say that I'm not going to do it. I'm going to reduce that. Instead of me using 5 hours every day in your room, going to church and praying 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. If you are praying for the spiritual things, that is independent of how our country will develop, how you will get money, how we will build factories, and it's if those are not the reasons you're praying, which I know that majority of the people that we have gathered in all these religious centers, those are the things that they're praying. They are praying for things that they have to go and do, work, put in the hours for them to get results. Somebody is trying to tell them that everything, they have power to pray for you to change your life. Those are not true. And if you dare, just try. Use 5 months, pray. And then the next 5 months, reduce those hours. If you're praying 5 hours a day, reduce it to, let's say, 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And the rest, put them into working hours. Put them to work. Have a plan, have a business, get a job, produce something. Exchange those minutes, those times for productivity. Get results in those and see where your life will be in terms of finances, in terms of what you're doing with your life, in terms of even how confident and how happy you become with where your life is going. Because in this life, if you don't know where your life is going and you're just in the room and praying, because there are a lot of young men and women, especially the young men who just thinking of praying and starting churches, and that's all that they think. When others are building factories, when others are thinking of products, when others are developing writing softwares, and we have a lot of our young men and women who have been taught to be so much religiously obsessed, and that the only solution they have is prayer. That's the only solution they have. They've just been told, pray, everything will be all right. Yes, pray by prayer. We used to see those things on campus. When we were in school, we used to see that. Our friends, engineers and all those people, they will go to the field and be praying for hours. Hours that we should have spent in the lab. We are using them praying at the park, praying, because we're just, a human being is nothing but what he's been told, what he's been trained with, what he's been conditioned with. The mind is said that the way, if it's trained in a particular way, that is the way that the mind will go until another superior information, knowledge comes in. And before we even went to school, we were just groomed to be religious, and it is very widespread in Africa, everywhere. And I say that it has been reverse. It has reversed a lot of things that we should have gone for. The religion has been destructive. It has been destructive, where our understanding of what it means to get results, to get development, to be productive, is being reduced to just prayer. Go to Nigeria, is there. Go to Kenya, is there. Go to South Africa, is there. Come to Ghana. is there. Every part of Africa that you see, a lot of, go to the Islamic part, is also there. They just always praying, just like that, praying. When they pray, that's it. We just been told that once we pray, everything else will be all right. And from January to December, you've been praying, but everything else is not all right. Because there's something that you have to do. If prayer answers everything, then why am I sitting here talking? Prayer should have been talking, not if prayer answers everything, then why am I using camera? Why do I have to drive a car? There are things that we have to do, and the very things that the very definition of what we call prayer is even being misunderstood by a lot of our people. And so for many of our people, sometimes you can even see people carrying cutlasses and praying to kill their enemies. This has been very much destructive, and we have people who are leading our people into destruction. Miseducation, misinformation, telling them things that for 1,000 years will never get them to move anywhere. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about Africa's development. Is it by prayer or productivity? Somebody will be intelligent to even say that, prayer is more and productivity is more. It is a country. You don't build a country by prayer. He's right. They are fighting the people. They are fighting the Palestinians. Are they using prayer? No, they are using guns. They are using technology. And we are here. They just told us to pray. No technology, no thinking, nothing, no organization, no planning, no structure, no systems. We just say that just pray. And you see a lot of big men who have following, big preachers who are following. The only thing that they commit the people, they tell the people is just pray, pray. Don't sit down, pray. The enemy is strong. If you pray, everything will be all right. But when they finish saying that, they still collect the offering. They still collect the money from the people. So see, it's double later position. The money is being collected, and then your time is also being used. And so when the money is collected and your time is also used to pray for something that you should do, which means there's no solution coming from that prayer in the first place. What it means is that your life is not going to go forward. And eventually the country will also struggle in most relevant things, because the people are using their time wrongly. Wherever that you see progress, development, wherever you see any people doing well, whether it's your personal life or even a family, go and look at how they use their time. Go and look at how they use their time, because wherever you're spending your time, that's where you're getting results. Whatever you're spending your time on, that's where you are getting results. So for the last 10 years, whatever that you've been spending your time on, that is where you have seen progress. So if you've been spending your time at Achimota Forest praying all the time, that is where you see progress. And what are you praying about? If you are praying for, let's say, more people will do good and become good people, that's okay. But even that, you don't need those volumes of hours to pray. What are you doing physically? Because if you are praying for our country to develop, what are you doing physically? What is it? The diligent hand shall prosper. You shall be judged by the works of your hand, not by prayer. So there's prayer somewhere, and I think that the one who is not even praying, who is very diligent, planning, making right decisions, will beat you. Who is always praying? You are always praying. You are always praying somewhere. You don't have any relevant information. All that information you have is just religious knowledge. Many of our people, just religious knowledge. They are doing business. They have no knowledge in that business. They have no financial knowledge. They don't know how to plan. They don't know how to even build their systems well. All the solutions that they have been given is that when you pray, God will come and do everything. So they give them stickers, they give them anointing oil, some of them even sell them apples. So they don't apply anything. They don't even use their brain. They don't even use their mind. So they have no value to develop their mind. That is how much dangerous religion has become to us. And if anybody talks, they say that, hey, be careful, this one is not your area. So whose area is that? Who is mandated to do that? And some people are just even telling you that they have supernatural power over everybody. Those are not true. That which is more powerful than any other thing is that which is truthful. The one which is truthful, the one which is the truth, is more powerful than any other force. What is more powerful than power is truth. If I stand on the truth, I'm more powerful than any other power that you can express. Because if power is not built on truth, then it becomes destructive. And so if the prayer that you're praying, if it's built on ignorance, it will destroy. And that's what we are seeing. That's what you're seeing. You go to a secondary schools, just pray. If you are going to write exam, just pray. Go and study. Sit down and study. The one who is studying will beat you. It's as simple as that. Don't live your life on miracles, on just hoping that God will supernaturally. Those are emergency situations, and it goes to everybody anyway. It's not just because you're religious. It's not just because you're Christian. God, in His own supernatural way, intervenes for everybody. But the teachers now they are saying that everything else is prayer, and if you be honest, you know that, especially those who are not happy with where their life is going, sit down and look at where you have spent your time for the last 1 year, for the last 5 years, for the last 10 years. Wherever that you are spending your time, from Monday to Saturday or from Monday to Sunday, if you put all the hours together, where did the hours go? Where did you spend the time? What quality of work did you put in those time? Those are the ones responsible for the progress of your life. And for instance, if you are building business, and you don't pay attention to the business, but you are from one prayer camp to the other, hoping that God supernaturally. A lot of people think that just someday something will happen and everything will change. I really don't hope for that. I believe that every day what you do with the hours that you have in that day will eventually come together, accumulate, and spark the results, the exponential progress that you're looking for. Every day what you do. So from January this year, February, March, April, now we are in May. Wherever significant amount of your time have been spent, wherever you have spent those hours, that is what is proving the results that you have now. So if you're spending hours praying about what? Killing demon, visa, getting a proper business contract, you're wasting a lot of quality man hours that you should be using to work or to getting knowledge, to getting quality, relevant knowledge to improve your life. So I don't blame you. People led us. Some of them were super powerful, and we trusted them. But you see, truth has no size. Truth has no relevance for your position in society. Some people think that if they shout more, it means that what they're saying is true. It doesn't really matter. It's not in the shout, it's in the results. If this idea that you've been practicing for the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if those ideas were true, majority of our people should be doing well. Our country should be moving on that fast, quickly as we want. Our environment should be organized. Go to most religious cities, areas in Africa. They are the most, I dare say, backward. Because they use all their time praying for things that they should be working to change. They should be working to change. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about, is it in prayer or productivity? Your progress is in productivity. It's not in prayer. It's not in prayer at all. So read a book. Well, majority of us don't even read any book. We don't read the Bible. So somebody else comes to explain the Bible to us and we believe it. Africa, most of us go to church. And once most of us go to church, then we must practice those things well if you want to go to, because the teachings, young doctor, they will not practice, they will not read the newest of the things, that the articles. They just always in church praying. They've been told that the most important thing is is to pray and to go to church and God's house. Remember, there is a parable in the Bible where somebody was attacked, and there was a pastor who was going to preach, and there was another ordinary man who also came around, and the pastor passed and went to church, and the other man who was not going to preach picked the man and sent him to the hospital and paid the bills. And Jesus said that the one who took care of the man did the work of God, not the one who was going to pray, who was going to teach. This is the kind of Christianity that they should be teaching our people. So it's in the works. It's in the works. It's not the prayer that you are praying. You are killing people. Your prayer is your enemies. There was this woman who around 2 a.m. we live with her, and in another apartment, and she was calling us to say, there is this thing on the roof. Can you see it for me? Because she was so much afraid. Majority of our people in church is praying. They are afraid. They've been taught fear. So they are afraid of demons. They are afraid of curses. They are afraid that they will get accident. They are afraid that they will get sickness. They will die. They are afraid that their business will collapse. They are afraid that if they don't bring money to the preacher, they are good. Those, because they've been taught fear, and that's why they spend a lot of hours, in a lot of these prayer camps and churches, praying about things that knowledge and good planning and quality decisions can easily solve. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about Africa's development is not in prayer, it's in productivity. It's not in prayer. I'm not against people being religious. It's fantastic. But we should know the consequences of the hours that millions of our people are spending on things that are not bringing any progress. They just spend time there praying and there's no results. The majority of the people, they just pray out of fear and panic and out of hatred and animosity. That's what the majority of the churches, that's what they do. And these are true. If you don't believe it, just find a church around the corner and hear them. There's one just around my corner here. Every day they are praying to kill enemies. It's not good. It's dangerous. It's lethal. It's retrogressive, and it is subjugating. It's enslaving. They've been enslaved and be empowered by wrong ways, wrong teachings. I need to take another powerful teachings. Another teachings that will liberate them, set the people free. If there is anything that we have to really set our people free, is freedom from mental bondage. Mental bondage. The stronghold that they talk about is in the mind. Mental bondage. If your mind is set in a particular way, it takes another strong force to lose your mind. And if you feel like you are not free, you are in panic, you have become a bond servant to another man's teaching. And you know that your life is not going anywhere because you are ill-equipped. You don't know how to plan, how to organize, how to manage your time, your resources, how to even set goals for yourself, how to go from wherever you are to the next stage of your life. The skill set to even manage people, you don't have it. And you have no desire. A lot of our people don't even have any clue. The only reason, even those who are doing businesses, who have shops, who have companies, they also been bombarded so much with religious teachings that the fear and panic in them, when you are close to them, you will see they're so much afraid of everything. And somebody is always trying to pray for them. So a lot of them have prayer warriors praying for them every day so that nothing bad will happen to them. We've been enslaved, and now it's religious. So Africa's development is not in prayer. It is in productivity, it is innovation, it is in planning, it is in execution, it is in right decisions, making right decisions on our resources. It's not prayer. It is not, and particularly if there's something called prayer, it's not the one that you are doing. The one that we are doing is not prayer. The one that we are doing is just wasting a lot of our resources, enslaving our mind and killing our people. Develop our people? No. It is productivity, teaching the people how to take good care of their time, of their resources, and being able to be being responsible for that which is committed to them. If you calculate the hours that our people spend in religious activities from Monday to any other day, you'll be shocked. We are spending so much time on religious activities, praying about things that we must get up to change.